I'm curious, do you ever find, even with one quarter and not knowing being able to have a crystal ball as to what's happened, do you ever work proactively to put together scenario planning? If our revenues decrease by 20%, here are the decisions that we're going to make. And you make those early on. If it declines by 50%, here are the decisions we're going to make. Do that kind of proactive scenario planning when you don't see it trending upward.
We do, and one of the rudimentary tools that myself and all the people that do this type of work is a 13-week rolling cash flow. So regardless of what accounting method you use, what industry you're in, none of that matters. Cash is king. At that situation, cash is cash. So a true operating 13-week rolling cash flow, cash in, cash out in the expense categories. And that doesn't have to be some kind of automated AI model. It's in Excel. It can be as sophisticated or as simple as it needs to be. It just has to be accurate and has to work, but it has to be built up from facts, again, not denial. So you start, I'll just be very brief about this. I don't want to get too into the weeds, but right, that cash in line has to have some support behind it. It can't be, oh, here's what our average has been for the last. No, it's not that. You start with your accounts receivable. What is it? And when do we think each one of those invoices our customers is going to pay us? And you lay that in. Then you have to put in a realistic sales plan. What's the sales plan going to be? If we have an average collection days of 45 or 60 days, then I get the cash at that time. You'll filter and lay that all in. Put your payroll in. Your payroll in needs to be by person, literally, because if you have to think about we're going to have to do a layoff or what have you, you can easily, deduct from that. And then you do a sensitivity analysis on that whole cash flow. So you've got a starting point of this revenue is X, my expenses are Y, here's what the cash generation will be. And then you just, flip a little toggle switch on your sales, or you stretch out the cash collections. And you also, as part of this, if you're on a revolving line of credit with the bank, you want to track your collateral going up and down and your availability on your revolver, which ties into this 13-week rolling cash flow. And it has, when I say rolling, some companies, oh, wait, I did it, it's 13 weeks. And then the 14th week comes by and they're like, oh, I have to extend it. No, you put this thing out literally like at least 3 quarters or 4 quarters, a year out every week. And you just keep looking 13 weeks ahead, if you will. But this thing is really more like a year's worth out. So you can see long into the future what happens over a month, a week, a quarter. Where's my collateral going? Where's my cash going? What's my debt service? What are my options? And that is how that is the heart and soul of any distressed company. 13-week cash flow.